welcome to the Jack Homestead. I am making homemade beef stew today in the crock pot, but I thought that I would share with you. I'm creating my own recipe, so this here is venison that we got from last year. We're trying to use up our venison so that we can make room for our fresh venison that we're going to be stocking our freezer with. But my husband and I, we like venison. So anyway, I'm just sauteing the venison cubes in olive oil with some salt and pepper to season. Over here, it's about done. Just wanted to give it a thorough cook, and then it gets added to the crock pot. You don't want it too chewy. So anyway, over here in my crock pot, I wanted to show you, I started to put a couple of the beef in, but we have carrots, onions, potatoes, and garlic. Now, the potatoes are from my garden. There's two different kinds. There's the Yukon Gold and then the regular white potatoes. Onions from the garlic, from my garden. Just one onion sliced up. Garlic from my garden. It's minced really fine. I minced it in my food processor and combine all that together. Now I'm going to add the venison beef to it. Also, I wanted to, the carrots are not from the garden. We did grow carrots, but these carrots are fresh carrots, bagged carrots, petite ones that I had in the fridge, and I didn't want them to go bad, so I used them instead of our fresh canned carrots. I'll save them for another time. But anyway, I have mixed together the potatoes, onions, carrots, the beef, and the garlic. So over here, while this is starting to cook, I made the sauce. Basically, it is 2 cups of beef broth. I put it in the same pan that I cook the meat in, because you want to get all those brown bits from the pan. That helps add flavor to the sauce. I'm sorry, it helps to add flavor to the sauce. So it's 2 cups of beef stock or broth. And then I used about a teaspoon of all the herbs. I used fresh thyme from my garden. I used a teaspoon of fresh oregano from my garden. I used a teaspoon of fresh parsley from my garden. And I did use a teaspoon of smoked paprika and a teaspoon of yellow mustard seed. They are not from my garden. And then I put in some tomato paste to thicken it up. So I whisked it all together, and now I'm going to add it to the crock pot. Okay, folks, I put the sauce in, gave it a good stir. I threw in 2 bay leaves. They're not from my garden, but I do want to grow some bay leaves. Threw them in there. They will get discarded after it's done cooking. Added some more salt and pepper for taste, and it's going to cook slow for about 7 hours. When the 7 hours is up, I will be taking some flour and some of the sauce that I have in here and creating a slurry. And then it will be added back to the crock pot, and that will thicken up the sauce towards the end. And then I will cook it for another 30 minutes or so. That will thicken up the sauce really good. And also, if I decide I want to throw in any other vegetables, such as like green beans or peas, or I was thinking maybe some mushrooms. Chris and I love mushrooms, and I do have some mushrooms in the fridge to use. Anyway, we want to use, throw that in at that last 30 minutes. You don't want to put it in now, they'll get mushy and gross. Everything else in here is fresh, so it's going to take a while to cook down. but those bay leaves will come out before I do that. That's just to give it some flavor for the next 7 hours. But anyway, it's already smelling good, but I am going to put the top on and let it sit for 7 hours. And then I will show you after 7 hours the next process of making the slurry and making it thicker. And stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the Jack Homestead. Just a quick peek. It's just about done. And I'm making the slurry now. I just added flour to the gravy to thicken it up. And now I'm going to add it back into the crock pot and set it for another 30 minutes, and then it should be good to go. I'll show you the finished product. Okay, everybody, it looks to be all done. The sauce that's thickened up, and Mr. Jack is gonna give it a try.
Hey, better than my stew. This is very good. She did a very good job on this, especially first time cooking venison like that. Very good. It's almost, if not better than Denny Moore's, I believe. So, but she did a very good job. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I will be taking some to work tonight. That's for sure.